Welcome back. Alaska is like no other place in the world.
And my co-host Rachel Malik is currently there with a group of viewers on a holiday vacations trip of a lifetime.
Let's take a look at her first postcard from Alaska.
Here we are in beautiful, albeit rainy, downtown Juneau, Alaska. We finally made it. It's been a bit of a journey, so before we talk about the beautiful land that we finally made it to, I want to kind of set the scene to tell you exactly how we got here in the first place. Our journey started, of course, in Wilkes-Barre, which brings me to my first point. The street that we're standing on right now is actually South Franklin Street, Juneau, Alaska, not to be confused with South Franklin Street, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, which I'm a little bit more familiar with, but this is certainly a beautiful one nonetheless. So I'm feeling right at home now that we finally made it. Our journey started in Wilkes-Barre out of Avoca. We flew to Seattle, spent some time kind of enjoying the sights and scenes of Seattle. Then we got on a quick motor coach ride up to Vancouver, and that's where we boarded our beautiful cruise ship. We're cruising with Holland America. It's been wonderful. The Koningsdam is our beautiful ship, and she is as beautiful as they promised it would be. We have been enjoying ourselves and not so exposed to the elements now that we finally made it to port, but we've enjoyed every second of it. All the food was fantastic. There is so much of it. That's probably one of my personal favorites of the trip so far, and certainly a favorite of my family. I think my dad, who's with us on this trip, is averaging 10 meals a day on the Koningsdam, and each meal is better than the last. Lots of Alaskan crab, lots of Alaskan salmon, both of which are incredible. And we didn't even make it to Alaska until today, so it's all just beginning. This is our very first port of call. We arrived here around 1 o'clock this afternoon, which is about 4 o'clock back home. We're enjoying as much as we can. Of course, this is pretty typical Alaskan weather from what we're gathering. It is what the locals are calling liquid sunshine, and that's how we're trying to enjoy this day. It's definitely typical Alaskan weather, so we're enjoying it as the locals do, but definitely making the best of it. As you look around, you see all of these orange umbrellas. That means they are our cruise co-passengers. So we're seeing a lot of our fellow travelers with us enjoying Juneau as much as we can. Honestly, the rain is not dampening any spirits. I think a lot of us are excited to be back on land for a second, finally enjoying Alaska. This is just the beginning. So tomorrow we're taking off back on the cruise ship to Skagway. From there we're gonna, get off the boat and then get on a train, take a beautiful scenic tour through Skagway, which we'll bring you along for as well. We've got a little bit more time on the ship to enjoy in the meantime, so that's what I'm about to wrap it up and go do after a little bit of shopping. But thank you for tuning in to our very first postcard from Alaska. I'm hoping for maybe better weather going forward, but honestly, it's not dampening a thing. Chris, one more thing before I let you go. A big element on the cruise ship is trivia. My family's been loving it, and we actually lost our first round of trivia with a question that I think you would have saved us with, so I'm going to end it with this. To what bird species, bird type? What? To what bird family, my camera woman Julia is helping out, to what bird family does the jay belong? To what bird family does the jay belong? Julie, thanks for helping me out. Chris, if you know the answer, let us know on air. You could have saved our trivia team. And next time we go on an Alaskan cruise, you're coming with us so that the Maliks can win. We have lots more coming to you throughout the week, so make sure you stay tuned to PA Live. And thank you once again for tuning into our very first postcard from Alaska. Thanks, guys.
Deal, Rachel. I will only go if Kara goes with us.
Twist my arm.
If you're wondering, jays are actually part of the corvid family. Now, corvid is better known as crow in layman's term. And as you can see, jays, crows, magpies are all part of that same family. So hopefully, maybe you can win the next trivia. And remember, you can keep track of all of her trip excursions with her trip postcards from Alaska every day right here on PA Live. Kara, do you want to go to Alaska?
I do. It's so nice she's sending postcards every day.
Right.
Man, living vicariously through her. I know.
Nothing's going to stop her.
Not at all.
I am just so excited that she is having the trip of a lifetime. We've been texting a little bit, so keep having a blast, and you keep the channel on where it's at, because we want you to return after this.
Welcome back, PA Live at 3 here on WBRE.
Let's check in with Chris. What's going on?
Tigers, lions, bears, oh my. Rachel Malik, our co-host of PA Live, saw a grizzly bear in Alaska yesterday.
And she survived, right?
Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness.
They saw
he's cute.
from the comfort of their motor coach. Of course, she is traveling with some holiday vacations viewers of WBRE WYOU. And this is just one stop before they head to Denali, which brings us to our Insta-Poll question of the day.
Okay, I just want to check though. I don't see Rachel. She's okay as far as we know?
Yes, she was
Okay.
videotaping
The bear
it
there-
from inside
oh,
the
good.
bus.
Good.
Yes.
All right. Okay, sorry.
Alaska has Big Five, so hopefully Rachel will see the rest of the others. So if you guys were in Alaska right now, which one would you want to see the most?
I want to see the bear, the grizzly. That's
Ooh, maybe a caribou or a wolf pack, a full pack.
I'll go with the doll sheep because I really don't know what it is. So.
It's like the ones with the
Is it like
the
a
big
living
horns?
doll?
the horns.
This,
yeah.
this.
Oh, like
Chris is
almost
going like
ram-like.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's see
You know
what our
what? I
forecast
changed
one
my
more
vote.
time.
You
We
just
have
saw it
temperatures in
here.
the 80s.
We have a fun fact for the day. Are you ready? Did you know that Alaska was once sold for $7.2 million? Up until October 18, 1867, Alaska belonged to Russia. Alaska was first visited in 1741 by a Russian expedition team and stayed in the Russian ownership until it was sold to the United States 155 years ago. And my co-host Rachel Malik is currently there with a group of viewers on a holiday vacations trip of a lifetime. Let's take a look at her second postcard from Alaska.
Greetings from beautiful Skagway, Alaska. We just arrived today and it is absolutely beautiful. We're enjoying much better weather today. The sun is peeking out through the clouds, not a drop of rain in sight, which is welcome after yesterday's Juneau experience. But everyone was saying after the rain cleared in Juneau, we still had a beautiful time. As you'll remember, yesterday after we left Juneau, we got back onto our beautiful cruise ship, the Holland America Line Koningsdam, which was magnificent. Every bit of it was incredible, so much so that the disembarkation this morning was a little bit bittersweet for all of our travelers with holiday vacations, but we knew that there was so much more coming down the pipeline to enjoy, and that brings us to Skagway. So one of the biggest claims to fame here in Skagway is the White Pass and Yukon route train. We're about to be boarding this train, tracing the path of the Klondike Gold Seekers. So it's going to feel like we're really enjoying what Alaska is all about, and all of downtown Skagway here up and down Broadway really shows you what's important to the area. One, the history, the rich culture that makes this land what it is, and then the jewelry. There is gold everywhere you look. Beautiful, beautiful shops ready for us to spend our money on the beautiful souvenirs, and we have already done that. I've had so much fun shopping up and down Broadway in Skagway. It is magnificent, but again, the journey is just beginning because, like I said, we're about to get on the White Pass and Yukon route train. This is going to take us through some really scenic views of Alaska, and it's going to take us all the way back to Whitehorse, Canada, which is where we're going to end up tonight. But the journey there is absolutely stunning. I mean, as you can see from the scenic panoramic views around me already, this is just the tip of the icebergs. We're going to be in the mountains, going around the bends, and really getting all Alaska has to offer in one little train ride, and we're taking you with us. So thank you for tuning in to these postcards from Alaska. There's so much more content coming. Each day gets better than the last. Thank you for being along on the ride with us. For now, so long from Alaska.
Now remember, you can keep track of Rachel's trip every day right here on PA Live. I mean, it really is fun traveling along with Rachel and the group in this way, don't you think?
Hey, welcome back. PA Live coming up at 3 o'clock this afternoon right here on WBRE. So we're getting a sneak peek. And yes, here he is, the man, the legend, Chris Bohinski.
I'm looking at all this food behind us. You know, as you know, Rachel Malik, co-host of PA Live, is on a trip of a lifetime with holiday vacations right now. They are in Alaska with so many wonderful viewers of 2822 News. So what you see behind us is a little preview of what she is experiencing. This is the Kris Kringle Market, where they are in the North Pole of Alaska. You can see she also met their Santa's reindeer. There's her
Christmas
parents.
is 6 months away, so
Yeah, we're almost
you can do
there.
your shopping now, Chris.
Okay, please. My birthday comes a little bit before Christmas, so you can think of it every holiday. So you can continue following along Rachel's journey, of course, here on the news, but also on PA Live with her extended versions of her postcards from Alaska.
Very exciting.
Sounds awesome. Good reason to tune in. We've got some more smoke in the forecast.
Do you want to talk about Alaska? Because A little later in today's show, we will be checking in with Rachel Malik for another postcard from Alaska. Here is her dad, Rick, as we go to break with a special sneak peek.
Hello, PA Live. This is Rachel's dad, right from Fairbanks, Alaska. We're just at the Salmon Bake here. Just sat down having a beautiful meal. This is awesome. Having a great time. Thank you.
Wow, a natural.
Welcome back. Where are the gold at? Where are the fish at? You know, salmon are a major part of Alaska's economy. Now, salmon provide jobs for commercial fishermen, processing line workers, hatcheries, and the many trades that maintain fishing boats and fish processing plants. And guess what? Rachel Malik has access to probably the best salmon one could find, in addition to actually panning for gold. Let's learn a bit more in today's postcard from Alaska.
Wow, I mean, look at that. Nothing says Alaska like this, an Alaska salmon bake. That and the mine that we're in now. Come on in. Welcome to Fairbanks, Alaska. We've been having so much fun already, and here we are at Pioneer Park entering into the gold mine. We're learning all about Hard Rock Mine. Now listen, back in Pennsylvania, I know we're all very familiar with the coal mining. Here in Fairbanks, Alaska, it's a little bit more about the gold mining. So as we're on our way into this amazing, authentic Alaskan experience with the salmon bake, we're getting to learn a little bit more about the gold mining that made this place in the world boom in the first place. So that's really been one of the main things that I've taken away from this holiday vacations tour so far. Tons of historical information. Every time we take a turn in the road, our tour director, Michelle Underwood, who is fantastic, is keeping us up to date with every fun fact we would want to know, every point of historical significance that makes this experience all the better. And then by the time you come to enjoy these Alaskan experiences, they're all the more special. So here we are entering the place of the Alaskan salmon bake. It is so much fun. We're about to go enjoy our delicious meals. Again, sights and sounds of Alaska. This is what it's all about. But the day is concluding with the salmon bake. We already had a day full of fun, which is what I want to share with you next. So on your way into Fairbanks, Alaska, which is a beautiful place that's very interesting in its own right. For example, our bus driver, Andrew, told us this incredible fact about the extreme temperatures in Fairbanks. In the summers, it can get up to 99 degrees. We're not dealing with any of that weather right now, which is phenomenal because that'd be tough. But it gets up to 99 degrees Fahrenheit in the summers here in Fairbanks, Alaska. In the winters, it can be as low as 64 degrees below zero. So imagine dealing with that on a regular basis. I mean, these people of Fairbanks are tough. So are all Alaskans. But to pass into Fairbanks, we had to go through a town you might have heard of. It's called the North Pole. That's right. Earlier today, we were at North Pole, Alaska, and we met the big man himself. Santa Claus welcomed us into his home on our way through. Again, all set up by holiday vacations. We didn't miss a single part of the excitement here in Alaska. We got to tour through Santa Claus's house, do a little early Christmas shopping, see all of the wonder that awaited, even reindeer. The entire tour group was ecstatic from top to bottom, and it's all concluding here in Fairbanks in this beautiful salmon bake, which we're going to see more of in just a few minutes. I'm getting a little hungry, so I got to go eat my salmon. We will have more for you next week. Enjoy your weekend, and thanks for tuning in to our postcards from Alaska.
Oh, awesome. Remember, you can keep track of Rachel's trip every day right here on PA Live. It truly is so fun traveling along with her in this way. Rachel, I am very proud of you for walking backwards through the gold mine. Look at you. Great job. Keep having fun with all of the wonderful folks on that trip. Indigenous peoples have lived in Alaska, America's largest and northernmost state, for thousands of years. But Western settlers first moved to Alaska primarily to support a few different industries: logging, fishing, the fur trade, starting in earnest around 1800. But it wasn't until nearly 100 years later when Alaska's largest population increase happened in light of the most significant discovery to date by that point: gold. Let's take a look at today's first postcard from Alaska with Rachel Malik.
Welcome back to another postcard from Alaska. Today has been such a magnificent day, and I'm excited to bring you along on the journey still from Fairbanks today on the beautiful Chena River. This day has been jam-packed with some of the things I've been looking most forward to on this holiday vacations tour since we first got the itinerary, so I'm excited to walk you through it. It started with a little panning for gold. Nothing says Alaska quite like that, and that's how we began our morning. So we arrived on site, took a little train ride back to where the panning actually happens, where we learned all about the machinery that made this big feat of Alaska possible in the first place. We learned about dredge number 8 and all of the gold, tons of gold that it mined for Alaska, making this region truly, truly prosperous. And then to up the ante a little bit, all of us got our hands dirty. We were able to do some panning of our very own. So when we got off the train after the little informative session, we got our poke sacks, which is just a little sack filled with dirt. It looks like dirt, but there are little flecks of gold all within it. Your job as a gold panner is to uncover the gold within your poke sack. So first things first, you dump that out into your pan and you get going. You shake it all up. You're dipping it in the water. We got a good informative demonstration to learn exactly how to do this in an effective way. We're dipping it in the water, shaking it all out. There's a real easy process to it. It almost feels like you're going to lose all your gold, but as they say, the universe wants the gold to stay in the pan. This whole process is designed to make you prosperous. So that's what we got to do. We're dipping it, we're exposing our gold, and at the end of the process, you're left with a pan with just little flecks of gold, the flash in the pan, as they say. So all of us on the tour were getting busy trying to look who had the most flecks, and when you're done, you would take them off of the pan with just the tip of your finger and put them into your canister. And listen, guys, that was just the beginning. Once you had your little flakes of gold into your canister, you took them inside, and that's where you could weigh your gold. Mine was worth a whopping $6, more than what I came with, so I'm happy for it. I'm chalking it up as a win. They weigh your flecks, and then you can make it into a beautiful keepsake. Some people were making jewelry, keychains, you name it, they'll make it, and it's a beautiful memento of your time in Fairbanks. What a unique experience, gold that you literally panned yourself. It was wonderful. From there, we came back for a lunch at the Chena River, and that's where we boarded on the riverboat that I'm standing on right now. So the day was just getting started after the panning. Now we're enjoying a little bit more about the Chena people, learning again what makes this area so prosperous. Now we're talking salmon, now we're talking native cultures, really just getting this full cultural experience, and everything I've learned has been more interesting than the last. So we've got lots more coming to you today and throughout the week on our Postcards from Alaska. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
Oh, how fun. That's a lot of money you made there, Rachel. I hope you come back to Pennsylvania. And you know Rachel, she loves putting people to work. Just kidding. She always wants to include everyone in everything that she does. Here's her group of holiday vacations travelers with a special message for us here at PA Live.
More with PA Live when we return. More with PA.
Rachel's dad here again from Denali National Park and Preserve here in beautiful Alaska. You'll hear more about all this on Rachel's Postcards from Alaska coming up next on PA Live.
Sitting at the foothills of the Alaska Range, Denali National Park and Preserve is a wild and wonderful place. It's truly as it was when hunter and naturalist Charles Sheldon first visited the area more than a century ago, untouched. It was Sheldon's drive and determination to protect this American treasure that actually led to the creation of Denali National Park on February 26, 1917. Let's take a peek at Rachel Malick's adventures there from this postcard from Alaska.
Hello from the absolutely gorgeous Denali National Park and Preserve. We had the most magnificent day here in Alaska, and I'm excited to catch you up on all of the excitement. So our morning actually began back in Fairbanks, where we had another amazing, group of activities giving us a true Alaskan experience, and all of that continued after a short motor coach ride to Denali. So after we arrived, we got settled in our hotel, which, by the way, this entire compound at Denali is beautiful. There are cute little cabins where we're staying, kind of dispersed in between shops and restaurants, and just the beauty that you're seeing around me right now. I mean, you couldn't expect anything more gorgeous from the setting that we're in right now. And this was just the beginning, because then we headed to the actual national park. So when we arrived at Denali, which, by the way, 6 million acres of wild Alaskan beautiful scenery is just bisected by one little ribbon of road, and that's the road that we traversed today in these school bus type vehicles. So we all packed in, and our main instruction was to keep your eyes peeled for all of the wildlife. Of course, there are so many amazing creatures to look out for, and we were lucky enough to spot a caribou or two. We saw an eagle flying overhead, even a few doll sheep from far off. Then a moose kind of welcomed us to Denali, walked right next to our bus, right across the road in front of us. It was absolutely magnificent. And as you can see from it, it's missing its antlers, so we made up for that a little bit later. At one of the informative demonstrations at a cute little cabin, they had a whole array of antlers to kind of, you know, gauge for size. Pick them up, hold them, see how they feel, really get that full experience. So I tried my hand at the antlers. I don't know if they went with my outfit as well as I hoped they would, but it was certainly a really cool experience. And it just kind of put everything in perspective. You know, we're in this beautiful scenery, surrounded by the animals that have made it so majestic, and it's nice to be surrounded by everyone who has such a deep appreciation, not only for the land itself, but for the Alaskan Athabascan culture that we were kind of learning about throughout this trip so far. The Athabascan people really have a deep appreciation, not only for the land, for the animals, and for the traditions that make their culture sustain, you know, generations upon generations. So that's really what we learned about. And I think all of the tour guides today and all of the park rangers today really emphasized themes of reflection and appreciation. And one of our park rangers today encouraged us all to do a little exercise to make sure that we really maximize the experience and felt like we were a part of the wilderness that you're seeing behind me. He said, take a moment while you're here in Denali, you know, embrace all of the senses around you. Feel the wind on your skin and through your hair. Smell the air around you. Take in all the beautiful greenery. Appreciate each and everything around you. And I was so happy to have that little reminder, because you can get swept up in the taking the photos and they're being there with your friends and family, but to really take a moment and center yourself in such a majestic place was just a really beautiful reminder that I'm really glad I got here at Denali National Park and Preserve. We're about to go enjoy a fabulous dinner with my family and the rest of our holiday vacations travelers. All of us are having the best time. Thanks for tuning into another postcard from Alaska. We've got even more for you coming up later on in the show.
Did you know glaciers actually cover 1 million acres of Denali? That's 1/6 of the park. I'm so happy Rachel is having a trip of a lifetime right now. Hi, Rachel and everyone else. I know you always watch all these segments with the group. You stick around at home or with PA Live when we return. You know, my co-host is in Alaska right now, but guess what she just got to do earlier today?
Oh, no.
She was on the Iditarod Trail. So a little bit later in the show, in her next postcard from Alaska, we are going to meet the furry friends that she just met in Wasilla. You all stick around at home. Look at the cute dogs.
I love them.
Those are the ones that she just met. More with PA Live when we return. Well, you know what else is shocking?
What's that?
I don't think we can see Russia from our backyards here, but I know Rachel Malik might be able to on the famous, world famous Iditarod Trail. Let's watch her become a musher and meet the team of dogs in this postcard from Alaska.
Here we are at our next stop on our Alaskan adventure. It brings us to the Iditarod Trail headquarters here in Wasilla, Alaska. An absolutely beautiful place that a lot of us have been looking forward to since the very start of this trip, because it's all about the snow dogs. You've heard, I'm sure, about the Iditarod race. It's an absolutely incredible feat, a race that stretches all the way from Anchorage, Alaska to Nome. That's 1,049 miles. The 49 comes from the fact that Alaska is the 49th state, of course. But think about that. Think about all of the training and the time and the dedication that it takes to complete a race like that. We've been hearing a lot about that since we arrived in Alaska, learning more about all the training and preparation that goes into something that's a huge part of the culture of Alaska. And now we're getting to experience firsthand a little bit about what that training actually looks like. So here we are in the summer months. As you can see behind me, there are dogs being trained. They take these cart rides in the summer months. A lot of the tourists will come through the Iditarod Trail headquarters and experience what it's like to be led by this group of well-trained, highly athletic dogs. Again, this is something we've been learning a lot about here, specifically Susan Butcher, who is an absolute icon in the Iditarod scene. She was the first woman to win the Iditarod race. In fact, she went on to do it 4 times, and a lot of people have been inspired by her story, especially people who passed through Alaska. You hear about her story, you hear about her little runt dog that became the lead dog, Granite, and led her to victory all of those times. It's a truly incredible story and something that I think a lot of us were itching to kind of experience in our own way, and that's what we got the chance to do here at the headquarters. Thanks to holiday vacations, we all got a chance to experience it, to ride in the cart, to know what training is like, and just get a deeper appreciation for all of the effort that goes into the Iditarod racing. So definitely a highlight of my trip. Like I said, something I had been looking forward to for a long time, and now I can check it off the bucket list. What an incredible experience. We mentioned that the Iditarod race starts in Anchorage, Alaska, and that is our next and final stop on this journey. So we will have more for you on Anchorage in our next installment of Postcards from Alaska. Thanks for watching.